Good afternoon or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, depending where you are. Welcome to the CS2 Corporate Charity Championships Spring 2025 Finals. Will be your color cast today, Baldingo's Mike, and joining me today is the one and only Hot Sauce. Hot Sauce, how you doing, sir?
Hey, doing great. Glad to be here in the booth with you as well. I know we got some exciting CS action, a best of three here for our finals, of course, sponsored by Amazon Luna. But a lot of prize pool action for desired charities here today. I know Epic CS will be playing for St. Jude's Children, and then on the other side of things, Norden, I believe, is UNICEF, excuse me. And so first place, 1,080. Second place, 540. Of course, Microsoft MS Office did already solidify $180 for their charity. So huge shout out to them and everybody. I mean, everybody wins when we're playing for charity.
Amen to that. No matter what, people are excited. We get to see some wonderful matches played out. And like we said, a little cash for the charity never hurt, never hurt. So, Hot Sauce, going into this match, do we have any, particular excitement about it? What's your experience with CS2?
I've been casting Counter-Strike for 20 plus seasons. I currently do EU and NA squads from intermediate all the way up to advanced and a couple ECLs. So I've been a lover of Counter-Strike for a long time. I played when it came out in 1999 because yes, I am very old and I used to be on a team back in the day, but yeah, I've loved Counter-Strike. I love to see the changes throughout. I know we've got something big coming up here in Texas. But yeah, I'm excited for Counter-Strike. And honestly, as much as the pro scene's fun or these ESEA leagues, when you get this corporate action together, there's a lot of fun moments that can happen in these divisions. So I'm excited to cast some fun here today.
Perfect. I have to be of the same mind. This game has been something that's been near and dear to me, to my heart. I went to IEM Oakland, the once in a blue moon esports event that happens here in the over in California in the Bay Area, and I loved it. I was hooked, and I've been playing. I played CS:GO until CS2 came out, and I've been playing CS2 like a madman and following in the pro league. But regardless, this isn't pro league, and it is nevertheless just as exciting, and I can't wait to see how these matches play out. And it always brings me a lot of joy to see teams like this come together. It doesn't have to be, multi-billion-dollar prize pools. It doesn't have to be these pro teams who do nothing but play. It's people who love the game coming together to do something good, because that's what esports is about for me. It's doing something we love and bringing people together with it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I know for the first map, we're going to head in toward Anubis. One of these, most of the time people favor that CT side, but I feel like more recently, especially on Anubis, we see a lot of people kind of leaning toward that T side. They tend to have a little bit higher of a win rate as far as percentages goes, only slightly, but so for me, it's always interesting to see what exactly do these teams like to start off on. At least recently in the ESEA division, we see a lot of teams starting out on that T side.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you there. I would say that, especially too on Anubis, these sites are very, very difficult for these teams to clear, and that despite having all this openness, we see a lot of these corners and the post plants as well are pretty brutal for the CTs to go in. And we're just gonna hop right into it with Norden Epic CS getting ready to send things out, steaming into the B side.
Now already pressuring in, shots ringing out. The first pick comes in, and now the trade back and forth as well. We see Downside's going to fall here. Back to a 4v3. Shots continue to ring out, and does a little bit of back and forth kills here early, but nobody able to pressure in just yet.
Yeah, we saw the T's take a definitive take here with pretty much zero pressure from the CT. They did manage to clear out, and they will end up winning the round. 5 kills happening in just almost as many seconds, I would say. I know it definitely took a little longer than that, but regardless, huge win there for Epic CS starting right off the bat. We're going to see an AK come out from Ardeny, I will guess that is how that's pronounced. And a full buy from the T side to keep holding onto this lead. No buys from the side of Norden, just a couple nades here and there, which have already been used. So I like this group strat that they're using. ensuring that any kills that they can get, maybe take away a few of these weapons going into the next round. And
I
Epic
mean, typical.
CS is taking things a lot slower now.
I feel like when you lose that first round, you got to kind of eco out there. But unfortunately, caught with a MAC-10 yet again. It's a 3K coming out there. The pistol swaps to the Glock, finds the pick. The Deagle gets a consolation prize here from downside. But that AK putting in the work and almost a near flawless round here for Epic CS.
Yeah, certainly. If you put all your eggs in a basket, you may hit the jackpot, but if they all drop out and shatter on the ground, well, you are out of luck, my friend. And that seems to be exactly what happened for Norden here. Regardless, we'll see the full buy. Rifles, armor, with a little utility as well. That lost bonus doing wonders. And with FCS not losing, I think, a single player or even just one player that previous round, it's going to do a lot for them. Snow already getting tagged through the smoke. See Epic CS taking favors towards this B site. And the first kill of the round happens. Snow goes down. Satch with the SMG. As things clear out, especially, yeah, 2 pushing up there. Huge flank there from Pharaoh. Manages to pick one and sneak off. And that's a pretty big kill there for the CTs. It's going to have Epic CS reconsider their approach. And it seems that it's done exactly what they need to. They're going to be backing off on the A side. We might have been a little bit of an over-rotate there, though, from Pharaoh. Because as we watch the utility come out, the T's will move into the site and take it almost scot-free. Just holding back, and we'll see the rotate come through. Straight's coming back and forth. And the T's will take the round in a definitive and quick fashion there.
Well, it's 3 in a row for them, and 6 kills for Artini there, 5 for Oslo, the pig down there as well. So firing on all cylinders at the moment. They take that full buy round away from Norden, and that's going to spell economic troubles here for Norden. So we're most likely going to see him back on this little bit of an eco flex here.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do. I know ever since the inception of CS2, since the MR12, economy has been the name of the game across all levels. It doesn't seem like it's a problem right now for the CTs, as they'll actually open up with the first kill.
Snow got one. Snow dangerously low, as well as Pax here as well. So Epic, certainly the advantage, but you like to get at least 2 picks on an eco round. So already doing their due diligence is Norden. Snow from the backside here. The Deagle shot rings out. It doesn't connect. The jump shot, and Epic CS is on the hunt here for this one. From a distance, he spots one there as well. But these other players of Norden have kind of shifted off downside, maybe considering saving the AK here.
I think saving, I mean, they've got 2 AKs, and currently with the state that the economy is, yeah, they save, they can buy their teammates rifles the next round, and they can maybe get another foothold in here, especially considering when we look at the side of Epic CS, they are stacked money-wise. They can probably shed a few rounds and not even blink about it. So currently, any damage that Norden can do and any damage they can prevent on their own side is very important to hold on to. And we'll
Epic CS, I mean, they continue
into the next round.
Put these stacks in the bank. I mean, you mentioned it, 7,500 there for Sag as well. So they've got the ability to make a minor mistake here as well. They've put 4 rounds in a row, but here's going to be that important round for Norden. They've got the full set of rifles. They got the op in the hands of Snow. So hopefully they can come up with something big here in round 5.
Let's hope that's something big. Is a nice clean sweep and possibly holding on to some of this as well. As you mentioned, op on Snow could make a huge impact here. They're going to rush through the smoke. And the pig comes out of the mud with a vengeance. Traded back. Downside on the Sag.
See the smoke popped.
There's a lot of utility being used here on this B site. The CT's still sticking around. We'll see a rotate close to the B site, but nothing super material. The bomb is going down, and I think might have heard that. So we will know it is planted, and it looks like Norden are gonna attempt the retake here.
Bouncing out, LL finding on the first one, but Snow fires back. The op shot's good, connects. Back to a 3v3. You can hear the time ticking. It's Micah to step through, channeling his inner Stewie 2K. The jump shot's good, and Epic CS, they combine for 2. It's all down to Snow on the M4. Micah has some angles to clear, checking left, checking right. You gotta check your corners. It's Snow with a big one, but Artini answers back. Epic CS is on a flawless tear.
Yeah, by the end of that round, we can see that Epic CS was pretty much completely away from the bomb site. They're taking a very proactive approach when it comes to the defense of their post plants. We saw on B side, they did hang back a little bit, but I want to highlight in that first round how by the time that bomb went down, we had 2 players completely up and along, ready to take any advances from the CTs in the end. And so now we are going to find ourselves once again moving towards there. Micah with left-handed screen, love to see it. And as things progress, again, a slower approach from both teams. Snoo, ooh, took some nades to the face there, was gonna hold strong, but Lowell swings out and takes him out. Darkwin will trade back, can't manage to find the second. The T's coming out ahead in every fight right now. Action towards mid. We'll see again a completely abandoned bomb site for A. Norden trying to play these retakes where they can find him, making sure that no footholds can be found, and there is a little action there, a little life. Downside gets on the Sag, and the fake push seems to happen, and yes, the CTs are over-rotating. This B site is going to be wide open, and it looks like the call is going to come in a little too late. The bomb will go down for Epic CS. At this rate, Money's a little strapped. I think they'd be best to save, but it looks like Norden's going to go into this site with the intent to retake.
Bring out. Micah's going to find the first, and Ulsla the Pig will get the second. Micah finds downside. They begin to fall like dominoes. And speaking of dominoes, Epic just stacking round after round. They've invested in the 401ks. They've got a ton of stacks in the bank, and well, they found their stride. It doesn't look like they're slowing down anytime soon. For Norden, they got to stop thinking about the main quest and look for some of these side quests. Let's get some couple picks here and there. Let's look to put our first round on the board and begin to build off the back of it.
Certainly, and we'll see maybe some of that side quest action happening. A lot of movement towards mid and a full stack, leaving that A site completely undefended. Ooh, and we're going to see some push up here. Maybe a little damage. There are a couple SMGs for the CTs. Maybe that's good enough, but Sag isn't ready to answer back. 2 beautiful kills there for the Rifler. Watch some more action. The CTs are falling like dominoes, completely unprepared for the technological superiority of the T side. 1 kill is found. That's all they need. The bomb is going to go down on the A site. And Pharaoh, with Deagle in hand, might be looking for some exits. Or even something crazy. Gets a little greedy, peeks out. Pig will take him out. And Epic CS stack a 7th round onto the board. And I do have to say, it looks like things are not looking great for the CTs here. We have a lot of momentum happening on the side of Epic CS. They're managing to get in these rounds. They're really managing to play Norden well as well. We've seen a couple of these fake commitments into the rotates. Completely free, undefended sites for them. And Norden are forced to play that retake with very little utility. Hopefully see some happen. Nade out. Farkman spots 2. Knows that there's some action. Ooh, gets caught on the wall. That's unfortunate. Leads to their demise. Sag with another of his own.
LOL taking a lot of damage from the utility there as well. Snow's going to find the snipe onto Sag. We see them beginning to shift toward the opposite site here, and it will be wide open if they opt to quicken the pace, which they do. Epic CS should find a relatively easy plant here, and it'll be up to Norden again to find this 3-player retake.
Maybe find this 3-player retake. 2 rifles, an op, a couple flashes, a smoke, 2 nades. They could make it happen unless 3 of those nades go down with Lowell catching out from behind. Things are not looking good for Norden again. We might see Downside try to find some exits, but it gets caught out and is forced to fall back. not wanting to show their cards. And yes, we'll see a save here from the CTs, scraping together whatever they can, finding a few upgrades here and there, but it looks like, uh-oh, downside might get caught out. Yes, they do. Pig is not about to let them save. And though Snow manages to find another on the lull, that is still 3 rifles and about, what is that, a couple, $60,000 for the tees. Oh my goodness, and after the plant, Snow does manage to find 2 more. They're getting greedy, but who says you're being greedy when you have the money to spare? Pretty brutal stuff here, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, they definitely have a ton of funds in the bank, and they can maybe take some gambles here as well. But for Epic CS, I mean, they've got to be feeling comfortable. They've already got 8 rounds on the T side. And I mean, I feel like on the CT side, at a minimum, you hope to get at least 4, maybe call upon the 9-3 curse, but it's already Sag and Artini to find the first 2 picks. Downside, getting a consolation prize as Snow will thread the needle. The op shot from a distance is good for 1, and now back into a 3v3 situation. They begin to file on toward the site here, but they're tucked in toward E-Box at the moment, having to wait for the smoke to dissipate.
Yeah, this is the first really hard commit we've seen from the CTs to try and retake this round. The clock is ticking down. There's no defuse kit either. They are running out of time. And at this rate, the call might have been given to fall back. Yep, the saves are coming out. And once again, we will see Norden completely unprepared in any regard to try and take this round. Instead, looking for whatever they can to scrape together and hopefully find one in the next one. Epic CS pulling ahead, now 9-0. Closing the half, potentially for the flawless. As we'll see the scraps on the side of the CTs pulling things together. Some utility for those with money to spare, but otherwise armor and USPSs for the rest.
We'll see if they can pull a rabbit out of the hat here. They need something magical on the side of Norden. This first one really beginning to slip away. A nice nade though, and we'll reap all of that one as Sag finds not 1, but 2. The 2K comes in, and now Micah from upper. The drop down, the shot's good. Help from Artini as there is tucked in toward water. The kid out here, the step, the swing, but it ain't no thing for Micah as they continue to pop heads and get bread.
There is a lot of bread on the table for Epic CS, and Norden have crumbs to work with. They are positively feasting right now. We see all of that activeness from the T's paying off, as Norden seems to be unable to answer them in these later halves of the round. They've done well to hold on to themselves, but now at this rate, the movement that we see and the amount of aggressiveness, I mean, we look on the map, 3 of the CTs died past the sites. And Snow's been doing excellent work to try and make these rounds cost as much as they can from Epic CS. But I think at this rate, it's too little too late. The economic lead from Epic CS is too great. And at this rate, we are just trying to find what we can. Snow doing absolute work. The real test comes. The pincer maneuver. Snow has enemies on both sides. We'll see what happens. Micah unprepared. The timing works out. Pig will trade Snow back. But that is the end of it. Epic CS now 10 rounds in. Have Norden on the wall. And they just need to find one maybe to find some hope.
Yeah, you know, even if they don't win this one, I'd like to see him be able to gather a couple rounds or 2, be that single spark to ignite that spectral fire and see if they can get that momentum to spill over in that next map. Because at this point, even if it is a 10-2 half, you feel like Epic CS would be able to find at least 3 rounds in that next half. But open up nicely here on the Oslo. They're going to get that pick, find the player advantage, and see if they can work off of it.
And work. They will. The T's are taking a little more time than they usually do. See, the counter-terror is taking a much more defensive position on this site, trying to play back and maybe hope that they can burn some of that utility. It seems that Sag will not respect it, going through the smoke, finding a pick before getting taken out themselves. Micah trading back. Now a 3-on-3. No movement from the T's. A minute left, and they have yet to pick what bomb site they're going for. Is really pushed up here. He's probably going to get caught out from Micah if he's not careful, and that's the end of it. The T's find a pick, find some movement. They've been doing really well to capitalize off this as well. They know that these CTs are moving largely independently unless they're in the back of the sites. And they know that when they find that pick, they can move around a lot. And yeah, we'll see that after Micah cleared way down long for A. Oh, they're actually going to fake the B. Or excuse me, fake 2B. Although I will say there was nothing fake about the bullet that just went through downside. We are going to see this plant happen in Epic CS on round 11. Cinch another one, putting us now at 0-11, looking for the flawless round now.
Epic CS really just not only displaying great game awareness, but situational awareness as well. And you take a look at the kills, 12, 10, 11, 8 for both LOL and Micah. Everybody firing on all cylinders here, filling their role nicely as they continue to power forward. Just one more round here before we close out the half, and an opportunity to have a flawless half at that.
Flawless round, maybe not. Flawless half, yes. But Lol and Pig go down in flames and style. 2 picks are met, so we have our equal numbers. But it looks like the T's are not going to find the push. Probably looking again for the CT aggression we've been seeing all game. Mid firmly under the control. They're holding their corners, and they'll start to creep up. They are now past the CTs, meaning that at this rate, it is a game of cat and mouse. Who finds who first? They do have the information on the side of Northern. They know that the T's have pushed up, and it looks like we're going to get a regroup here because they know that the sites are wide open and probably being taken as they speak, with Faro clearing things out on the B side of the map. Yes, and that Molly confirms that Epic CS are planning and getting ready to put a nail in the coffin in the first half.
Downside, gonna find that first pick on the Micah. Saj with the return fire though. Now down to downside and Farouk, who begins to shift toward mid. Caught with utility in hand though, and that's always a tough decision there. You've got to maybe bounce it off the wall, or Tinny will find downside, and well, they are going to be playing from the downside. They've got an uphill battle here in the hands of Norden, and it could end with just the next pistol round.
Certainly, things are not looking great for the side of Norden right now. Looking at the scoreboard, we have Pax 0-6-11, not doing the best in the world, but fear not, things can always turn around. We've seen crazier comebacks. As long as Snow is in the server, maybe the T's have a chance now. One round between them and the fall of the first map. Let's see, huge move up mid here. Really streaming in too. They've taken a lot of space. CTs know exactly where they are. The damage starts coming out. Oh, look at that. 4 kills in not even that many seconds. Downside the last. And Epic CS grabbed the first map definitively. A 13-0 to seal the deal for the side of the CTs.
That definitively is almost an understatement at that point. A phenomenal showing here from Epic CS as they look to lock down that 1,080 prize pool for St. Jude's children here. But I mean, regardless of the outcome, Norden not going home empty-handed as well. You know, a second place, it solidifies at least a 540 for said charity. So they'll have another opportunity on this second map. And sometimes, you know, maybe Anubis just wasn't their map, and so haven't maybe been able to run some strategies or practice on that map. So hopefully they'll head into another map that's maybe a little bit more comfortable for them.
I would second that notion, Hot Sauce. We saw a lot of good things from both sides. I think Norden, however, did manage to secure things a lot better. We saw better conversions. We saw smarter use of utility. We saw a lot more patience and a lot more willingness to work the map. I specifically want to point to, as I mentioned, a couple of the fakes that they pulled. A lot of utility is used. They see it all get burnt on that site, and they say, okay, we know where to go. And they all quietly shifted, relying on that CT over rotate that we saw a few times. But regardless, I think that we can still see some comebacks here from the opposing side, and I would not question that this next map should hopefully be a little more competitive.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be heading in toward Mirage. I mean, they basically call it Dust 2 2.0 at this point. It's a very common pub map. So I feel like everybody's going to be comfortable on Mirage. Maybe an opportunity now for Norden to get to showcase some of the talent and skill that they have. We saw Snow popping off with that op, and it just needed a little bit more from the other players. I felt like we started to get that as time went on, but it just wasn't consistently there as a cohesive unit. So that's something I'm looking forward as we get ready to head in toward Mirage.
Certainly, and I think Snow is especially going to have a great chance to shine here on Mirage. So many great places to play with an operator, up mid, on the CT toll booth, on the apps long way. There's so many chances for it to shine, and I'm hoping here that Snow gets that chance and maybe pulls their team out of the gutter a bit so they can stay in this. I'm looking forward to as well. We saw a lot of aggression from the T's in that first half, and I think that's going to play pretty well here on Mirage. So, you know, if I had to give any guesses, I think we're going to see the operators, excuse me, wrong game. We're going to see the ops play a lot better into the hands of the CTs, and we're going to hopefully see some more impact from these players that maybe didn't show up as well in the first map.
Maybe a little flashback to some Valorant. You know, they're kind of similar, but equally as devastating weapons. We're going to waste no time getting into it. Farouk able to find the headshot on the LOL. We'll give him a free 6 feet dirt nap, but Arteni says, I'm not done with you yet. Find Snow on the cat. Farouk will tuck in here as the flash rings down, and now a lot of this mid-pressure Epic CS maybe wanting to flow toward the A site.
Yep, and flow they have. CTs have completely conceded control. Epic CS not wanting to skip a beat here. Oh my goodness, but Farah with an excellent shot. The plant is delayed. We might actually see Norden grab their first round in the series. Sag now to 1 versus 3. It's gonna try to make anything happen, spraying. Maybe. Oh, a solid echoing shot from Pharaoh puts Sag in the ground, and Norden, after 14 rounds, secure their first round of the series, and it looks like they will not be squandering it. We'll see almost a full buy come out from the CTs. T's left with nothing but their sidearms and a very nice bomb.
That's right. Unfortunately, if you don't get that plant down, you don't have those extra funds to force in round 2. So it's a wise decision by Epic here to go on and eco out. We do see the Glocks with 2 P250s in hand to lead the charge. Saz will take some early utility damage here as well. Norden, you mentioned it. They're starting off on the right foot here. Can they build off the back of that momentum?
We will see. We will see. The scout comes out. Shots are found. And Snow is just doing what they can to tag him up, and it looks like it's working. 2 players go down for Epic CS, now in a 3 versus 5, and more damage to come. There's no breath for them. I believe, worked their way up into that T-spawn. They have severely cut off the options for Epic CS. Oh, excuse me, that is not. That is the apartments. I'm reading the map wrong. Regardless, Epic CS seems to be at a little bit of a loss for what to do. You've got a P250 and a Glock. Don't really know what you can do with that in this case. But regardless, the CTs are showing a completely different side. And we'll see if Pax can secure what I believe is going to be their first kill of the series. Last map proving to be very difficult. And a very, very far approach for Norden. All sites secured. Epic CS. Ooh, find themselves in the sights of Snow. We managed to grab some damage and then a kill. Pax doing, as I said, securing what might be their first kill of the series, putting Norden in a very happy 2-round lead. But this is where things get hairy. Epic CS now have the rifles, the utility, and the armor to play with. And we'll see how they use it. Not a lot of chances for it to come out. As you mentioned, Norden has been using it to great efficacy, finding a lot of damage and a lot of room to play with. And Snow, with only a scout, already puts Epic CS on the back foot. smacking Sag into the ground. As we'll watch the exchanges go, players are being held. Norden, a lot more patient this time around. We do see Pax screaming into that apps. Excuse me, streaming into Palace. Clearing things out. Battles in mid. But no one is overstaying their welcome.
So you begin to take a little pressure here toward mid. A lot more of a calm, methodic approach here in round 3. It's that full buy round, and if Norden can find a way to steal this away from Epic CS, it could be huge for them. Kind of give them a taste of their own medicine that we saw in game number 1, but they're able to answer back with a kill. It brings us back to this 4v4. It's a 2-2 split for Norden at the moment, but you take a look at the mini-map, and in spawn, we can see Epic CS beginning to shift back toward that A site. It looks like A main and 2 through mid here.
We'll see the smoke come out in connector, and Snow spots one coming up ramp, meaning that they're definitely reading it. But it seems that Norden are a little more hesitant to rotate now. Snow and downside pick up 2 very quickly. Maybe if their pig, last player standing, is caught out of the open and swung on by Faro. For Norden to secure round 3. This is almost a completely different team than we saw in the first map. The amount of coordination, the amount of patience that I'm seeing is very, very pleasing to see, as well as the fact that information is being used a lot better. Pax, as you might have seen, was screaming through the back of the map, clearing everything, cleared up T-spawn, let his team know that the walkways were clear, excuse me. And I think that's what allowed Norden to get in a position and be ready for that push. But we see a flood coming on to Asa.
I said enough pitter patter. It's time to get at her, and feeling fine with a Tech 9. Sag lays it down. Downside, though, able to find a trade back as Sag immediately with a quick response to answer back. They've got the player advantage here for the first time on Mirage, and Oslo looking for a bit of intel there. It's too in toward market, and because even though they've gotten these wins, they have some economy to work with. It's still not in the best of situations here. So we will see these remaining 2 players probably look to fall back, save these rifles, maybe get an exit frag as Pax caught off guard, but Snow will make the pig pay.
Snow makes the pig pay, but he may be receiving that debt in a bit. They know exactly where Snow is. Epic CES on the hunt, wanting to get that off out of the hands of his absolute demon. Lowell manages to gets legged. Snow getting pinched on from 2 sides, has to choose a direction and chooses the wrong one. Lowell swings out and answers for his leg with a bullet to the dome ski. We'll see Epic CS take round 4, keeping Norden in the game, reminding them, hey, we just smacked you 13-0 in that first map. Don't think you're going to get away with this one. And
hey, I love the fact that I was just going to say, I love the fact that Norden's been able to stay in this one. You know, I mean, 13-0 can be devastating for the mental, but we see him, you know, taking a deep breath, finding that mental reset, and now powering forward here in Mirage. They've got a nice 2-round lead, but they have to continue to do what's been working for them, and it's LOL through the smoke.
Oh, it's on a tear. They keep going. They know they're up on that stairs. Lowell looking for one more. Drops down. Finds the 3rd. Continues on a rampage even. Sag getting taken out. Pax with the 2nd kill here. Doing great. Doing wonders. Pax is in deep. We'll see what happens. Might turn away. They look away. Lowell with 4. Looking for the ace. Pax very low. Has but a rifle to their name. A flashbang and not even a helmet. I think expecting the rotate. Lowell may not find that ace. The bomb is planted. Pax has that op. It will be absolutely crucial for them to hold on to it. If Norden wants to have any say in the next rounds to come. Snow has been doing absolute wonders with that weapon. And to lose it now, Norden may find their lead dwindling. Pax is creeping up. Lowell is clearing everything out. They are running out of options. Pax seems to know. Everything is chill. do see the push from Micah. We'll see if Pax can do it. The barrel's out. They know he's there, and Micah swings out, taking Pax down to the ground. Even manages to pick up the op. Just a little more patience from the side of Pax, and that op may have found its way back home, but instead it's taken a vacation to the side of the T's. Now in the hands of the pig, and we'll see if this pig can oink.
They're going to have two ops actually here. The double op setup. Micah, one in hand as well. It's a 2-2-1 split. Two toward Palace, two toward mid, and one lingering outside of apartments. But Micah, the quick flick of the wrist, and in a gist, he puts him down. Now steps out with a Glock in hand. He finds a second kill with a pistol. Artini taking a ton of damage, chopped down to 4 health, and living on a prayer.
Living on a prayer.
I love the Swag 7.
That Norden, the Swag 7 is great. No, especially on this van site, absolutely demonic weapon. Oh no. Downside had every opportunity to maybe take Lowell down a peg after that absolute tear in the previous round, but unfortunately the shots will miss. Lowell whips, and that is the end of it. Epic CS plant the bomb down on the A site. Now a very familiar situation. Faro in a 1 versus 5 even. Deagle in hand. And with the lack of any kills from the side of Epic CS, they know that Faro doesn't have a weapon worth saving, so they're going to hold down the site. And hold down the site they did. Swing out, take things down, and Epic CS in the 6th round tie things up. What looked to be a positive opening for Norden is quickly slipping away from them. We're going to see one last buy from the CTs to hopefully keep themselves in the game. But with now 3 rounds in a row, Epic CS have a lot of cash on their side, have not been losing things, and the pig squeals through the smoke. Snow goes down, and Norden begin to slip.
Oh, they've lost Snow. He's kind of been that shining star there for them as well. And so with a Juggernaut down, Epic CS trying to decide what they want to do. Certainly lingering toward the A site here, most likely lining up these smokes to rain down toward Ticket and Jungle here. So probably wait until that, 110 mark, somewhere on that clock so that they all fire together. And most likely we will see that quick push come after.
We got all the setups ready to go. Utility starts coming out. And we'll see if these two players for Norden are any match for the full might of Epic CS.
You see Artini. Now finding a pick. Pax. LOL. Plaid stripes in the kill feed. Everybody getting a piece of the action. His downside will tap through the smoke, but nobody waiting on the other side this time. And so again, they've got the player disadvantage now. And because that economy is in shambles, they have to consider potentially saving at least this rifle here.
I think consider it and save it they will. Oz going to be camping out in the jungle, hopefully, to surprise somebody around that corner with a face full of buckshot, but it seems that this will not be the case. Nobody wants to come through the jungle. Nobody is as brave as Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it seems, oh, it doesn't matter. Through the crack. I will tell you now, Lowell is definitely not laughing out loud after getting assassinated there on his way to the market. Regardless, Epic CS now pull ahead, getting ready to start putting Norden in their place once again. Snow picks up the op. The money is back in Norden's hand just as soon as it will leave. A full buy for a full round of hope. You still have the double op set up. Oh, Sag spots the rotate. They know something's going to be towards connector. We're actually going to see a swing out, and Sag, ready for the swing from Pax, grabs the player. Definitely not Sag about that. 2 more kills come in for the CTs. Oh, spotted out. Pig gets caught in the leg, but manages to skitter away with their life. The dust settles. CT, oh my gosh, he's right there. Artini ready for the attack. And bullets are flying. Lives are being lost, but none of them are for the T side. 3 players left against the single full health. They know on the site. Oh, spots out Artini, grabs Artini even. This is actually very doable for here.
Very winnable.
Not a lot of health. Could do it. A single smoke to their name, however. Reads the rotate. Let's see if he catches out. Spots out, nose on the site, and sees the utility come out. Great read there from Still almost full health. One bullet to the dome is all we'll take from anything. But this is as ideal a situation as it can be. Yes, and that's it. That one bullet, the caster's curse. Lol, not ready to give up the round. Puts in their place and keeps Epic CS on this 5-round tear.
So one player's caster curse is another player's caster blessing. Lowell will take it as they come away barely hanging on by a thread in that one. Epic CS, after stumbling a little bit in the opening rounds, have found their stride here. Taking 5 in a row. They continue to pressure at mid. The smokes to mollies lines up have been great, and they're able to eat up a lot of space here. The tap, the spray, and it's Pig and LOL who combine for 2. They're on the hunt to the jungle, and it's LOL showing the prowess. He looks to progress forward, and now Epic CS seems to be firing on all cylinders.
Firing all cylinders and no holds barred. Once again, found as the last CT standing. We'll see if they have the patience. They're hiding around that corner. They're getting ready for the rotate. They may get shot from behind here. That is gonna be Micah swinging up towards the back. They spot him out. There's one for There's 2 for Can't get 3 at that range. But regardless, anything is gonna be good for Norden going forward. Creeping into round 9, Epic CS with a definitive lead at this point are holding on, but these rounds are costing them a lot more and more. And though their economy is still in good shape, we are nonetheless seeing a much more competitive side from Norden here. The speed at which Epic CS are moving is something that they're getting used to, but still not quite adjusted to. Snow with the op will not find anything. And in fact, will get traded out by Pig. Oh, things are melting. The T's are cutting up their opposition. We'll see a full execute onto that A side after cutting up mid. And now Pax left at 1 versus 5 here on the site. It's actually sneaking the smoke. Oh, isn't ready for it. Micah pulls the trigger first. And Artini's there to follow up right behind them. Epic CS plant the bomb once again.
Woo. The Swag 7 has been a menace, but unfortunately, I mean, Epic CS is looking scarier than a gas station bathroom at the moment. I mean, from 13-0 and now 7 rounds in a row here on the T side, where Barrage tends to be a little bit more CT favored here. So Norden needing to find a way to inch back into this one. They've only got 2 rounds here in the first half to do so.
They've got 2 rounds, and unfortunately, while the Swag 7 has been doing work, it hasn't been pulling in enough of that sweet, sweet dough to get a complete full buy. We'll see SMGs, we'll see rifles. It doesn't seem to matter, though, because they will all fall. Sag with a triple kill, even a reload in the middle of it. Artini there to back them up, and is probably screaming after finding themselves as once again the last player getting ready to hopefully find that signature last birdie, that last pull of the round. Maybe somebody will come jumping around the corner. But I think Epic CS are starting to get the memo and deciding that maybe it's not worth 2 to 3K a round to get the extra cash. But we hear the call. Is fully aware. Oh my gosh! Here's it. Oh, the buckshot is flying. Oz ready, flashes out, he's ahead of it, could find it, but it's just a little short of it. Micah eats the shot, but manages to dish out nonetheless. Goes down after finding 1. And we're now on the final round of the half. What looked to be a great start from Norden has turned into a little bit of a slugfest. And I'll tell you one thing, Norden is not Mike Tyson.
Back to the Swag 7 here once more. It's certainly a favorable weapon. He said whether it's the shotty to the body or the 12 gauge to the rib cage, he's been making it work. Just needs a little something extra here from the rest of the crew. And Snow, who was very devastating in map number 1, has been stifled a bit, just 5 at 9 with the op in hand. Pax continues to linger around as Sag tucks in past Tetris, now towards Sandwich, but Pax able to find the first one. A bit of utility goes out, and now that Palace is going to back off, but there's a lot of presence here at mid, and LOL will find Farouk.
Farouk does go down, this is true. And yet we'll see the dust settle. A little bit of chance there. Snoo cooks a little bit in the jungle, a campfire, if you will. Pax is traded out, but not before grabbing kill themselves. Snoo with the op. That high impact op that we were hoping to see on Mirage is coming out, but it's not coming out hard enough. 2 players only for Epic CS. If Norden have a round to win this half, this is it. Getting shoved out, Epic CS. I don't believe are planted for this spot, are they? Oh, they are. Oh, and Snoo with the Mag 7 will grab one, but in their greed of grab, oh, that's an error. In their greed of grabbing the better weapon, ultimately find their demise, but it's okay because Downside is there to swing out. And the defuse comes through. Norden pick up the final round of the half, managing to keep themselves in this game even a little bit. And while we look at the scoreboard, I definitely don't think it tells the whole story, but I think Norden still have some legs in this match. Mustache. Excuse me, Mustache. I'm sorry. It's just too perfect. I can't help but admire it, sir. If I haven't said it yet, it's a great mustache you have there. Hot sauce.
No worries.
My
we
friend.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see Norden take a round at the end. Unfortunately, it was 8 that they gave up in a row for Epic. So they had a great start. They were stumbling around those meat and potato rounds. I think if they can find a way to win this pistol round, they can really give them a shot at getting back in this. But if they don't find the pistol round or at least a plant, we could see Epic CS extending that lead by a couple.
And they seem already well on their way to extend that lead. Epic CS open with 2, maybe a third at this rate. Shots back and forth. Wolf's gonna get gooshed. And Snow coming up that A ramp will ambush the CTs. Isn't ready for Lowell to swing down onto him. And Farouk and Pax in a 2 versus 4. Not a ton of damage. Could find, best case scenario, 2 more frags before the end of the round. Let's check one of the site. Oh, they don't check. Oh, it's disastrous. Oh, they weren't ready for it. Micah finds 1, finds 2. The duelie's doing work. 2 guns, 2 bullets, 2 dome shots, 2 players gone, and 9 rounds for Epic CS.
Yeah, Micah, the bully with the doilies at this point will continue to carry them into the next round, but we'll be able to scoop up an MP9. So 3 SMGs, 2 rifles in the hand of Epic CS. When we talk about the importance of at least finding that plant in round 1, Norden not able to do that. Going to be on that pretty much full eco here.
And a full eco does not pay any dividends, it would seem. A lot of damage has already gone their way. Although the first kill will not. Taking out 1 player from Epic CS, being immediately traded back. Pax is going to run through, unable to find anything. The pig is feasting on the slop. That is unfortunately the economic buy of Norden. Epic CS now 14 rounds in, 10 to their own name. Are looking to put things away and bring home that sweet, sweet prize for their charity.
So that'll do, Pig. That will do. Popping off the whole crew, working like a cohesive unit. You love to see it here on the side of Epic CS as they look to break out the brooms and end it in sweeping fashion. We've seen some moments of shining greatness here from Norden, but they've got to be able to put it together here consistently. Snow finding this early pick. It could be the start they need.
The start they need. And perhaps the ending they will achieve against Epic CS. Huge movement here. No answers from Epic CS yet. Oh, but that's until Pig calls up connector here. They know the sprays are coming through. Keep swinging out. But have to swing a little too far. And although the trade attempts to come through, Farrakhan and Snoo will lock things down. And just like that, the CTs fall apart. Epic CS are unable to keep going. And Norden look to secure themselves a fifth round, being round 15 of your second map of the Corporate Charity Championships, sponsored by Amazon.
Shots from Pax don't quite connect. Eventually will, and Norden again will cut that lead in half. They'll get their first round win of the second half. We'll look to see if they can build off the back of that. Meanwhile, the economy for Epic CS mostly in check, but they do have a couple members, you know, that are low. So it'll be interesting how they opt to attack this next round.
I think it's very important here, and I think Epic CS agree to try and maintain as much of that cash as they can. Never mind, they bought out. I think they're probably going to look for a loss bonus here. That is the benefit of having such a substantial lead. You can take a few rounds. You can try and just find as much extra cash as you can, and then hopefully that loss bonus will come in clutch for you. They stream into the site. Norden they will. And the CTs are managing to hold on firmly, trading enough kills, keeping the numbers equalized. The bomb will go down. And we do not see any kits for the side of Epic CS. They'll have to move quickly. And though two players now find themselves in the 1 versus 3, they've anchored their position there on Tetris in that ramp. Planted for them. They're ready. And I think Epic CS, yep, they fully know. Downside with the first. Put Sag in the ground. A second to their name, and Snow is there to wrap things up. Norden now 6 rounds to their name. You can claw things back. After Epic CS took those first 2 rounds, it's good to see Norden with some life, capitalizing on that loss bonus and dragging it out as much as they can. We're rolled now into round 16. Excuse me, round 17. 16 rounds have passed.
Yeah, Epic CS going to have to eco out here. So another opportunity for Norden to really close that gap just a bit. Sag with a taser. He's electrifying. Plat stripes in the kill feed. Pax finds the 2K all day. And Farouk able to wrap it up. Norden, they said enough pitter patter. It's time to get at her. They stampede onto the side. And that's what I like to see.
That is a almost perfect call, I would say, from Epic CS there. Stacking the side, either playing the retake or playing the flood, and that's exactly what happened. And I think it was, if I'm recalling correctly, it was Sag, a huge Zeus kill, something that we do not see enough. And honestly, we should. I mean, gosh, I remember watching Rops pull a bit of that out a few tournaments ago with some Zeus lineups. And I do hope that we see a bit more of those, because my goodness, are they ever impactful, and are they ever a pleasure to see? Unlike the fact that Pax cannot see anything by a few facts. For the fact that A, they just got smoked out, and B, the fact that they just took a couple nades to the face. Ooh. On downside, pick up 2 more. Norden are a completely different beast on this T side. Downside, no nonsense. Putting this bomb down with conviction and a headshot. Oh, Sag.
Peekaboo.
Spotted out. Peekaboo.
Oh, finding Sag though, yeah. Micah all alone now in a 5v1 as well.
Peekaboo's never really a game that has a winner and a loser, but I think Sag did not come out on top there. And it seems that Micah's going to be playing a little bit of Peekaboo themselves. Swinging out 11 bullets to their name. Managed to find one, but Norden are streaming through. They're giving Epic CS a little taste of their own medicine. Hunting these kills and managing to secure now 8 rounds. Norden are solidly in this. A completely different beast from map 1. And while, yes, it may not be a 13-0 reverse comeback, it is nonetheless a statement. We are here. We are ready. We are not ready to give this up.
Certainly not ready to go silently into the night. It's now 4 rounds in a row for Norden as they begin to mount the comeback and put on the rally caps. Somali toward Khan. They do spot the one jumping out. A bit of a blind. Snow finds the first shot and all will collect as well. Norden, they have really come alive. The beast awoken. And with that, Pax finding a nice one. Micah gets a consolation prize in the mix. It's a 4v2, but it is a bit of an eco round here for Epic. So looking to get at least 2 picks ideally.
2 picks would be great. 4 players left. Snow will take out Lol. Micah, now on their lonesome, has only the AK to their name. It is certainly within their best interest. The money is tight right now. And if Micah can hold on to this AK, maybe find an exit, that would be great for Epic CS to hold on to their lead right now, because Norden looked to put a 9th round away, putting them only within 1 round of their opposition. Micah, yep, pulls out the Talon, Fade Talon, very nice. And look to hold on to this AK like it was the last crumb on the table of their feast. Epic CS had the bread, but they gluttonized. Norden is now the one at the table with the bread, the charcuterie, everything you could ask for. And they are getting ready for dessert right now. Round goes out, and it seems that they're gonna just go by each other. They pick something. Oh my goodness! The exit's not found. 9 rounds Norden, 10 rounds Epic CS.
Done a great job out on the back. We said it. It's now 5 in a row for Norden, and maybe Epic beginning to feel a little of that pressure, a little of that weight on the shoulders, but they're going back to the op here in the hands of Oslo the Pig. They've got a full set of rifles to work with as well, and so it has to start now. You take a look at their economy, and it is all but dwindled away.
Dwindled away, but not completely spent. Cash invested now has to come through, and it looks like it will. Sag opens the round. Nade's doing damage downside, almost taken out by it. It stays up. It still is really far up with this op. A very scary situation to be in. Pax moves through.
Oh my. Pax almost got low. He had just a skosh of health left. Stowe is able to find it through the smoke as Farouk will pick up onto Oslo, and it's been back and forth in the kill feed. The game of tug of war continues, but Epic CS, the slight health advantage here now in the 3v3.
Yep, and with Micah moving through, manages to clear. Oh, if he's not careful, he's gonna hear him. But instead, Micah gets the flank and even finds the second. Artony closing things off by the booth. Epic CS get their first round in what feels like forever. But this round has weight, as that is not just a round to extend the lead, but a round to get them just within 2 of taking the second map and taking the tournament.
Luckily for Norden,
still have the cash.
Yeah, they've been able to put those stacks in the bank here, so still able to come away with a full buy. For Epic CS, they have this buy, but they can't afford to lose this round, or they could be looking at a potential tied game here. So instead, trying to get to match point first here. This Molly could be a good one toward mid because Norden seems to be mounting all their pressure here.
The pressure will break through. Lol takes a little damage, but not for spotting someone out. Micah will be there to back them up. Takes out downside. Norden's pacing has slowed significantly. Pax is going to creep up through this jungle and maybe pounce like a tiger. A kill might be found. Goes up that ramp. Is taken out by Pig, who has firmly solidified themselves. Yes, Pax will pounce. The kill is found. Artony, attempting to be sneaky, does not find anything. Norden with the bomb down. Probably the most equal plant that we've seen in a while. Trades go back and forth. Holding CT. Pig with that op. It's going to have a little difficulty in the retake. The smoke is through. T's are going to have to push through. The defuse is coming through, and it looks like a stick will happen. Micah manages to get off it and find the kill. Pig backs them up. And Epic CS, now a second round in a row to their name, and now series even tournament points. Norden, what looked to be a great match for them, may slip and find themselves walking away with second place, which again, not a terrible thing. I think it was 540 we said for their charity, but nonetheless, it would have been nice to walk away with a little more, or at least get the chance to.
At least they can say they had a respectable battle here on Mirage. They've certainly been fighting tooth and nail and putting on much more of a cinema here in game number 2. But Epic CS has 3 additional opportunities now to close this game out, and they've got the weaponry to do so. Ozla has the AWP in hand.
AWP does not need to bark, because the whispers of the M4s are the ones doing the work. Snow is already down low, and now he's down on the ground in pieces. The nades come through. Kills are going back and forth, and now Downside at a 1 versus 4 isn't ready for it. We now find ourselves in the end game. Epic CS, after an insane back and forth battle here on Mirage, will ultimately take the round, take the series, and take home $1,800 for St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Yeah, I think it was 1,080 for first prize there towards St. Jude and Children.
Excuse
so
me.
huge. Oh, no worries, no worries. Huge number though, and nonetheless, still big numbers that we love to see for charities. And of course, as you mentioned, Norden, they played a great game in game number 2. They should hold their heads high. They get 540 for their respective charity as well. And we got to give a shout out and a mention to Microsoft MS Office as well, taking 3rd place in this tournament, solidifying that 180 for their charity as well. And as we said before, there's no losers when we're playing for such a great cause here today.
I would second that notion, Hot Sauce. And I would say in esports, while some people may walk away disappointed, no one's a loser. We all win. From the community to the players to the people who put this on, from people like me and you, this is always a lovely experience to bring people together for something great and play for charity at that.
Well, I believe there's going to be some Rivals action tomorrow as well, so we certainly hope everybody will click that follow button. But it's been an interesting and fun day here. Again, the Corporate Charity Championship Spring Finals for Counter-Strike as Epic CS does solidify that dub. But before we get going here today, we'd like to take a moment to thank everybody behind the scenes at CEA, including our main man, our eye in the sky, Gatago, for doing all the production and the wonderful observing as well. So we hope to see you back here tomorrow. Be sure to click that follow button. My name is Hot Sauce. The legend to my digital right is Baldingo's Mike. And with that, guys, we hope you have an absolute wonderful evening. You've been amazing.
Thank you very much.